Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. Well, as you can see by my shirt, I'm proud of my undergraduate and first graduate degree, college, Louisiana Tech University, for having a football team that won the Western Athletic Conference in 2011, the first time they won it since the first year they got in 2001. So it was a tough go, especially with Boise in the conference all those years. They're not there now. But Tech will be playing TCU in a bowl game on the 21st of December. So don't call me that day. It's a Poinsettia Bowl in the evening, I think. And unless you've got a really big screen TV or access to one where we can watch that game together, and I'll come over and bring some refreshments. But anyway, let's look at some photos from the 12th of December 2011, made in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Okay, that's from the Fayetteville National Cemetery. And of course, that's the RNCIC getting a check for $1,000 from the Combat Veterans Organization, motorcyclist organization. And this was on Wreath Day at the National Cemetery. Wreaths Across America, sponsored by Walmart. And that man, talking intently to one of the lady who was a staff member at the National Cemetery, was Bud Saunders. You used to see him on the cable television in Fayetteville in the past. The views you're seeing in some of these shots of some of the many people gathered that day for Wreath Day are off to the northwest primarily. And the reason for that is those old buildings there will be gone down low, and the view will be gone in a year probably for student apartments 4 stories high that are going to be built there. Okay, we're showing pictures of the Trailside Cafe and tea room, which unfortunately may be closed before you see this. I wish I had known this a week earlier. I would have been telling you to get out there and eat before Friday the 15th or 16th or whatever they're going to be. That'll be their last day of operation. Those are scenes. That's Tanglewood Branch down the street there south of Trailside Cafe, and it runs to your left on the screen and over next to the library and along that trail that goes south down there. Tanglewood Branch is going to be that's the Tanglewood watershed there. But this is also the Tangle Branch watershed. This is a fellow I was about to give him an award if I'd had one for picking up all this trash, and then he threw it all in the storm drain. And that washes right down to the Tanglewood Branch and right down to Beaver Lake, possibly in many cases, all the way to Beaver Lake. Okay, there's the trash again. After the fellow had thrown both hands full in there, and of course it was probably washing away by the time I got home from doing the short take, because rain was predicted on the 12th, and all of that will be washed right down there. This is another watershed. It's still Beaver Lake watershed. It's still part of the Town Branch watershed, but it's the Spout Spring watershed. And I don't know which is worse, the mud being put in the street by these guys. Well, I do know that's worse than a little bit of litter. I will say that. That's a lot of silt going to wash straight down that hill and through the storm drains and on the street and into the Spout Spring Branch, which is just across MLK, straight down East Avenue there. There's one of the big trucks leaving, putting some more mud in the street. And there's the one that was coming behind him, and it's backing in. See, this is what we call infill. These small lots, they have one house on them, one small house, and they clear them off, and they dig out the black dirt on that edge of the prairie there where it starts flattening out, and absorbent soil, and cover it with red dirt. They've already covered it with red dirt there. And this truck is actually putting some gravel down. You know what that gravel in that drive entryway is for? Well, that's to keep mud from getting in the street. But they did it 2 or 3 weeks late because they've been working on that lot, clearing it and digging it out, and it's already putting a lot of mud in there. So until next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green, especially in our precious Beaver Lake watershed in northwest Arkansas. See ya. Hi, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and it's the 15th of December 2011 as we record this, and I've got some urban prairie photos to share with you. This is a site that's slated for development. You see a little grove of trees sticking up way down there on that prairie? Well, there it is, a little closer. And the developers actually want to take out these little piddly few trees, which are actually very significant habitat. You see those were goldenrods, I believe, those seed heads. And you can see how they mowed right down in that wetland. You can see a sort of a depressed area right across that prairie all the way from that Holiday Inn building. And they want to put a convention center or something there. But I don't know why they'd want to get down to the lowest place where the water soaks in and then runs off. It doesn't soak in. Why they would want to take those out. Maybe it's because the average businessman or engineer or planner doesn't necessarily feel strongly about the importance of maintaining as much possible wildlife habitat. In this case, there will be birds using it always. And if it's left there and allowed to grow up around a little more, this should not even be mowed land. This should be only mowed in the winter. You're trying to manage it for vegetation. And when we talk about the wildlife, butterflies, myriad of insects that would live in that area that would feed birds. So birds would come right there. You would be able to see them right out there in that little thicket in the wet prairie. That's an encampment. Somebody, I don't know. It doesn't seem like homeless people would be out there in the open like that. So maybe that's some of the kids that live in the apartments just nearby there who actually play down there, and they've made them what we used to call a fort. Kids still do that, I think. They have a place to do it. Now see the ditch there along the highway edge mode, and this is a big ditch cut from up at the parking area. You've got storm drains up there, and it flows out here, and there's a pipe where it comes out of the ground from that parking lot drainage. And man, that is just the wrong way to do it. You can see how it's eroded all around the pipe. Probably when they put the pipe in, it just came right out of the ground there, and they thought it was all nice. Well, if they let more willow trees and grass and other beautiful flowering plants grow around it, then it wouldn't erode like that. You can see, if you were there, you could see what I'm trying to show you here better, that this is a mounded prairie. This is seasonal wet prairie, mounded seasonal wet prairie in terminology, the casual terminology of the scientists. And you can see a flow area going back down to those trees. That's the natural flow, probably, just a little flow, not a real stream before it was all paved around there. Of course, you notice that storm drain cover there is decorated with a fish and lets you know that's going to Beaver Lake. Well, in this case, it's not. Part of Fayetteville, South Fayetteville, and East Fayetteville goes to Beaver Lake, and part of downtown, and so forth. But here's where we are. See Weddington at the lower part, and you see the big A, well, right above that Holiday Inn Express is where that prairie land and those things are. So this is the kind of thing we need to keep a little habitat everywhere we can. This is not to say people can't have a little mowed lawn without destroying the world, but if they would keep some habitat for the butterflies and bees and all the other pollinators and the birds, then the chain of life would exist much more plentifully, and fewer things would go extinct. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya.